Good evening everybody and welcome to round 10 of the GPVWC Formula Challenge season here at Magny-Cours in France. We're here, we've just had the first laps go in the qualifying session, and as always I'm joined alongside me by Menno, Klont with Szymon, Frelik on cameras. So Menno, I guess we'll have to go straight into it. We've had the first runs, quite interesting times really at the moment. There's a lot of new faces for this round. What do you think of it at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we're joining halfway in qualifying on this interesting circuit with 10 minutes to go, and I actually need to see the whole standings, but it's quite interesting. Of course, we don't have, I believe, Darius Andre here tonight.
Yes, exactly. Championship leader has a race ban for racking up too many license points, so he won't be here tonight, which means that we've got, who is it?
I believe it's Dan Hayek.
Dan Hayek, that's the one in the TCS Off racing car. So obviously TCS Off will still be looking to get good points for the team, but this could be also a very good round for Jake Dennehan to close in on his teammate at the moment, 28 points behind Darius in the standings. But this could be a really good opportunity for him to make that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jake will be driving pretty smart today, so it's not like
Well, yeah, at the moment he is on provisional pole. Mike Quint almost took that away from him, but not quite. So yeah, Jake Dennehan clearly is wanting this, and then is going to look to take the championship lead potentially.
Yeah, but you already can see that, of course, Jake Dennehan is P2 in the championship, but also the Alpha Delta drivers are doing quite well, and I believe in Hockenheim they also were quite on pace, and at least for the qualifying session now, they look to be on pace as well. Only one in 2/10 off pole, so looks good for them. And then we've got Damien Scoron in P4, finding a bit more form than 2 weeks ago. And the new guy, Lawrence Doherty, if I pronounce it correctly, now in P5.
Doherty will be one of them.
Yeah, I need to learn how to pronounce that. And then the Kings Racing drivers. I think this will be around for the Kings Racing drivers where they can show a bit of skill. This is an old style track, and I think that's what will suit the Kings Racing drivers.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, then I guess one of the surprising ones, Michael Dumara, P10 after the first runs. Very good stuff from him for now. But I believe most of the drivers should be starting their second flying laps now. At the moment, no one purple in sector 1. Jake Dennehan is improving on his own time though. And he is now purple sector 2. So he already has provisional pole. He'll be looking to improve on that obviously as the session goes on. So we'll have to see as he's coming around the last couple of corners now. He's got a little bit of traffic in front, but that shouldn't hold him up through the final chicane. The big bump over the curbs, and he does improve by about 2/10 with another purple sector 3. So very good stuff there from Jake Dennehan. Mike Quint, I believe, is just starting his lap now to try and counteract that.
Yeah, but very good stuff. Of course, I would say the first time of Jake Dennehan might be beatable, but now with this improvement and a 23.9, it's a really fast lap, and let's see if somebody can get close to that or even beat it. It will be quite hard to do so. We now got 12 drivers within a second, with Gijs Sonneveld now in P12 with 9.71 So yeah, it's still quite close. Let's see who can improve. Well, we now see Bruno's at the moment.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Jake Dennehan clearly pushing on his second lap. He's actually matched his first sector to the 1000th. Even after doing 2 laps in a row. He's got a purple sector 2. Oh, he's just had to dodge a Thunderdog car there, coming out of the hairpin. Yeah. I think he was going for the slipstream. But
look at Dylan Platt. Look at Dylan Platt with a purple sector 2, but that it got beaten by Jake Dennehan. Where will Dylan Platt go? And Dylan Platt goes to P2. Yes, well done, Dylan. So he actually did a good lap, but still 2/10 slower than Jake Dennehan. But I think Dylan will be quite happy with it. I believe in recent rounds his qualifying wasn't always strong. Of course, Silverstone was really good, but I believe afterwards, Hockenheim was not that good. So he's now up there again with 5 minutes or nearly 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Do we see some more green sector times?
There's a few improvements down the field, yeah.
Yeah, Tom van der Voort.
Yeah, Tom van der Voort, the biggest improvement at the moment.
Yeah.
Currently in P11, just within that 1 second barrier to pole. And Green set to 1 and 2. And he comes around the final corner. Oh, he's a little bit wide. Oh, and he's going into the wall there. That's very, very easy to do. It's a very tricky corner. The curbs are.
And luckily, the car is still working, so he can go for another lap.
Still got all his wheels, still got his engine running.
Look at Dan Hayek. Dan Hayek is now improving. Let's see what he can do. He's now at the end of sector 3.
Yeah, and you just go through the chicane there. Where does he jump up to P21 only at the moment?
Yeah, and then you say only, but it's only 1.2 seconds slower. It's not that it's a big margin, but yeah, if you can improve more, then you can gain a lot. Well, I believe now we've got a green sector from Damien's Coram, which I believe matched Dylan Platt's first sector. What can Damien do in the second sector?
Well, I think he had a big lock up there going into the head, and he still is green sector 2, but we'll have to see if he's lost a bit of time in sector 3 there.
See, I think he can improve a bit. Can he jump into the second row, or even better, he goes in? So then I think his delta lap time will be not good enough, so he will not have improved. So he thinks like that. Let's go in. I can get one more lap in if I pit now, and I can fix that, and hopefully can go faster. Let's see. I now see Scott Mitchell with a very fast first sector, 27.164, which is impressive. But it all depends on, I think the second and third sector. Of course, third sector is really difficult, but Scott Mitchell is faster in the second sector. What can he do? Well, I see Jake Denham. Jake Denham is actually going faster in the second sector and now puts purple lap time in here. But what can Scott Mitchell do? Can he jump into P4, P3, or even better? And he goes to P4, so second row for Scott Mitchell now, but I think everybody is improving, so what can Joseph Hurlock do? What can Jake Denham do?
Well, Jake Denham just improved by a tenth. He looked very wide in the final corner. Obviously the game and everything allowed it, so I think, that was just about fine.
Hurlock do P4? Okay, so Hurlock now goes back to P4, pushes Scott Mitchell into the third row. Dylan Platt still in P3 and Mike Quinn still in P2. But Mike Quinn just improved his lap time and now is the second guy in the 123s. Also is nearly 2/10 faster than Dylan Platt in P3.
Yeah, and now we've got people going for what could well be a final lap. Jake Denham again going for a second lap in a row, and again very close in sector 1. Slight improvement once again. Joseph Hurlock as well, going green in sector 1, and we've got Damon Scouron as well starting his lap. So after aborting his last one, so he's now going out for the final run. But Jake Denham is down in sector 2 by quite some way, so we'll have to see if he's got a lot of traffic here as well in the final chicane. So he's going to jump into the pits and. Well, they have to be quick, but he might just about have enough time to make it round for a final run. So we've got Joseph Hurlock, was green sector 1, but down in sector 2, so he is going to be pitting as well.
If you've got Maciej Sandak now putting in green, and let's see what he can do. He's then only in P19, but P19 is 1.2 seconds down. Can he improve a lot on his lap and jump a lot? P90 will be P10, so that's very good lap for Maciej Sandak, because he had quite a difficult Formula Challenge campaign so far. The first races of the season were really good for him, but afterwards it became more difficult for him, so P10 is very good for him at the moment, but can he stay there? That's the question. Got more people improving. Jack Nichols is improving. Lawrence Doherty is improving. I can still not pronounce the name. Sorry, Lawrence. And Guy Sonneveld is improving. Guy Sonneveld is the first one crossing the line. He is green. P13. Can he go into the top 10? Oh, he goes off. Yeah, but he goes off. But actually gains time for that. So Jack Nichols now is improving. What can Jack Nichols do? He jumps from P9 to P8. Very good. And Lawrence is jumping or staying in P7. Let's see, who do we have improving? Well, the time now is done in this session. So people can now finish their laps. I don't believe...
So we had the top two and Joseph Furlock not go out for a proper final run. Dylan Platt, he was on a lap from P3, but he's down a little bit in sector 1.
Yeah, but he can of course win in other sectors.
Yeah, we've had Damien Scour on. He did one flying lap that was down close to his personal best, but still down. Gone for a second one and aborted that, clearly down again.
I believe
Scott
Tommy
Mitchell also down in second one.
just jumped up from 16 to 13. What can Bruno do? Bruno Sousa Ferreira now in P17. Can he improve? And what about Remco? Remco de Zeo has a green sector 1. But the rest of the lap, what will that do for him? So Bruno Sousa Ferreira goes to P15, so an improvement for him. P15 here. What will Remco do? Also green in the second sector. Now P20, but it's also close there. Can he jump from P20 to P18 or better? P14 for Remco de Zeo. Oh, this is a very good lap for him. And Mikael Tsumala goes to P10, so the track looks to be faster and faster. Who do we have got left? Scott Mitchell aborted the lap. I believe that's it.
Yeah,
so,
I believe that is it.
The track looked pretty fast at the end. And yeah, then you see drivers like Remco de Zeo then getting the last lap perfectly and jumping from P20 to P14. That's, yeah, as a sim racing driver myself, you know, yeah, you get a lot of adrenaline from that. And yeah, that's very good for Remco. So, end of qualifying. So your top 5 is Jake Danahan, Mike Quint, Dylan Platt, Joseph Hurlot, and Scott Mitchell. With then 6 to 10, Damon Scoron, Lawrence, I'm not saying the rest of his name, Jack Nichols, Luke Mitchell, and Mikael Tsumala.
Yeah, so a very interesting quality session there, and with Jake Danahan claiming the top spot, with his teammate obviously out for this round. So exactly what he would want, and with a few little surprises thrown in there in the top 10. Mainly Lawrence Doherty, obviously coming in for his first round of the season. And you can see there from P11 down, you've got Guy Sonneveld, Macho Sandak, Tommy Koivunen, Remco de Zeo, Tom van der Voort, and then Bruno Sousa Ferreira, Bradley Leonards, Mateusz Kozlowski, Kevin Morville, and Stefan Schreider. And then rounding out the grid, you've got Ben Willis, Patricia Magnussen, Dan Hayek, Kevin Voice, Jessica Pelletier, Caitlin Penny, Don Holsall, and then Owen Kvilhaugsic, with, at the moment, 4 cars not here today. We've got the 2 Nova Finlandia cars, and then 1 of the Team Furlich cars, which would have been Guillermo Mas, and then also an Abstenio Force Polonio car not here, unfortunately, today. So quite a few cars out, but still 28 car grid, still quite big. But for now, we're going on to a 10-minute warm-up session where we'll just be going through a quick break before bringing you race 1.
So,
Hello and welcome back here, NFC. We've had the 10-minute warm-up session just finished. All the drivers just doing their final preparations, practice starts and race fuel, things like that. So in a minute or so, we should be heading to the grid for race 1. Menno, we've had a little bit of a shake-up, I guess, at least at the front after qualifying there. 2 new faces. So how do you see the race 1 going? Could be a bit tasty.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit tasty in race 1, but I think mainly I think more aggressively driven they will do in race 2, because I think on this new circuit for a lot of the guys, they just want to make sure they got decent points in race 1, and then they can potentially take more risk in race 2. So yeah, I expect a good race 1. And let's see what it will bring here in Magny-Cours. I believe this is the first time since 2013 that we're here with Formula Challenge at the back of my mind. So we've not been here for, I think, quite a long time. So yeah, it will be good, and yeah, hopefully a lot of good battles, and yeah, uh, great battles, and yeah, amazing jumping over curbs. We shall see. I'm not sure what you expect, but yeah, the last corner is something which I would really like to see how they handle that, because if you need to take it right to take a lot of speed onto the start finish straight, and if you master that, I think you will also be one of the better guys in the race. So that will be interesting. And also, I think the main overtaking opportunity will be after turn 2. You've got the not a long straight, but a medium long straight, and then the what is it, a hairpin? I think we will see some overtaking there. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, I was just working out because you mentioned that 2013 was probably the last time we were here as an
yeah,
actual race. We've been here in the last couple of years as a pre-season test, but for the actual race, I believe, at least off the top of my head, Jack Nicholls could be the only person here who was actually racing in Formula Challenge at the time that we were
yeah,
last here.
yeah. That's very true. Could very well be that he was here at the start in 2013. Of course, I can check, but I'm sure that we raced here in 2013. But I don't believe we raced here after. Maybe we did. No, I actually don't think so. So yeah, we're back in the north of France, and yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. It's a very different track really to obviously Paul Ricard, which was where we have been for the last few years here. So some of the drivers getting used to that, having to completely learn a new
Yeah,
track, quite a different track.
yeah.
Uh,
This track is actually in the middle of nowhere. I remember this. I've been here once a long time ago, and it's in the middle of nowhere. There's no big city close. Yeah, so yeah, it's actually just a circuit with not that many like grandstands and yeah, state of the art. But yeah, old school circuit sometimes yeah, is really good, and I hope we can see that today.
yeah, and I think from what I've heard, maybe not the final chicane. I think that can be a little bit frustrating maybe for some people, but from what I've seen, it's a very enjoyable track to just drive around, and hopefully it can also provide some good racing.
Yeah,
Without,
what I noticed from it, this is really a flow track. That means that if you are in some sort of rhythm, and you got that rhythm, then yeah, it's amazing track to drive.
yeah, exactly. So we'll have to wait and see when we've got a pack of 28 of them, how that handles at a track like this, where, like you say, you do sort of need rhythm to be able to go quickly. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But for now, we've got the drivers just heading onto the grid, doing their final checks, making sure everything is set up correctly and they've got all the fuel and things like that before then heading out onto the grid. obviously, like we mentioned, Jake Dennehan then will lead the pack away onto the formation lap in the absence of his teammate Darius Andre. Mike Quint will line up alongside him in P2 with Dylan Platt in P3 and Joseph Herlock in P4. The Alpha Delta is really picking up now in the second half of the season. And then we've got Scott Mitchell in P5, Damien Scour on P6, and then Lawrence Doherty in P7 and Jack Nichols in P8. Then it's Luke Mitchell in P9, Michael Tamala in P10, Gijs Sonnenveld in P11 and Matthew Sandak in P12. And then Tommy Koiven in P13. Tom van der Voort, I believe, should be P14 from what I've got on here. Bit of same record to say on that. And then Bruno Sousa in P16. We've got Bradley Linars P17, Tez Kozlowski P18, and Kevin Morville P19, Stefan Schreiden P20. And then Ben Willis P21, Dan Hayek P22, Kevin Boyes P23, and Caitlin Penny P24. And then Darren Horsell P25, Owen Philhauswick P26, Jessica Pelletier P27, and Patricia Magnuson in P28, because I believe both of those had grid penalties, which sent them to the back. And Jessica Pelletier will be actually starting from the pit lane. And I'll just have to check. I believe Renko Dzeo, obviously it showed him on the grid there, but I believe he's actually not in the race at the moment. Well, I say at the moment, he unfortunately won't be able to join at this point. So unfortunately, it must be a technical issue for him, but he unfortunately won't be lining up on the grid. But hopefully he can get it sorted and join us back for race 2.
So, all the cars are now lining up. We now see Jake Dennehan getting into his grid slot. There we've got Tom van der Voort in P14. Yeah, and it's not a very long start-finish straight. So they are quite tightly packed. And let's see how the first laps will go, because it will be pretty close. Will there be any drama? We'll have some hard braking zones. We shall see. We're waiting for the lights when they go on, and when they are go. Waiting for the lights still.
Yeah, this is always when it gets nervy as a driver. You've got to start worrying about whether your engine will start overheating if it takes too long like this. But the lights are on now.
Yeah, 4 lights, 5 lights, and there we go. And who's got the
really
best start? No, but a better start from Dylan Platt. Oh, but look at Joseph Herlock from P4 to P2. No, it's still P3. And Mike Quint is the biggest loser out of the top 4. He slots in behind his teammate now. And is everybody clean in 2, 2, 2? Yes, it looks like they are very clean. And look at Jake Dennehan. He's just checking out what can the Alpha Delta cars do with Dylan Platt. Joseph Herlock goes around the outside. Can he do it? No. But look at Dylan Platt. Dylan Platt had a great exit there. So top 4 is quite close. Scott Mitchell in P5. Damon Scowron in P6. With Jack Nichols in P7. And Lawrence now in P8.
Yeah, I just noticed there was a... Oh, sorry, Dylan Platt actually going for the lead here on Jake Dennehan. Into the left-hander there. He's going to have to go around the outside now, and we're heading into the fast chicane where it's not advised to go
Jake has got more to lose. Jake has got more to lose. Remember that, Jake. You are the one that can lose a lot of points here, because if you do well, you can gain a lot. And look at Scott Mitchell. No, he was in P5. Now he's in P3. Oh, this is already very close. But look at Dylan Platt going for the lead. He's going to brake later. Oh, they touch. Oh, he pushes him wide. And he gives the position back. Smart from Jake, from Dylan. But now Jake has got a bigger lead, and Joseph Herlock is now in P3. What a first lap we had, Josh?
Yeah, I was watching behind a little bit of the first hairpin there, and there was a little bit of argy-bargy, but it was mostly clean for what I could see. I think everyone's still going, all their wings and everything's still attached. So yeah, and some very interesting racing there at the front. Dylan Platt clearly wanting to go for it straight away, but now he's got Joseph Herlock. Once again trying to look around his outside at the hairpin. It's going to be very difficult to go for that. And yeah, he can't do that. I have to say, I didn't notice Scott Mitchell, but Yeah, I mean, it must have been a great move to fly himself up the order that quickly. Unfortunately, he did then lose the place again to place the Furlock, but he's got himself right in the mix here.
Ooh. Well, I saw Ben Willis and Guy Sonneveld going well, wheel to wheel and more into one of the fast corners to the right, but there was no crash, but a lot of touching. Yeah, it's pretty close. Oh wow, we've got Dylan Platt going a bit sideways. Yeah, and now Jake Danahan has got the healthy lead. Because the thing is with this, if you can stay within a second, of course it will be very interesting with DRS. So yeah, if Jake Denhan can check out and Dylan will not have DRS, then of course it will be much easier for Jake to, I think, to keep the lead. But if Dylan can stay within that second, then he can get back to him. But look at Joseph Hurlock. Look at Joseph Hurlock. I hope we can get an onboard from Joseph Hurlock, because he's going to attack Dylan Platt now. He's opening DRS. Yeah, he's got DRS, but needs to go around the outside. Can he do it? It's a hard braking zone. He's trying it, but no, Dylan Platt has got the inside. And look at my Quint. My Quint just passed Scott Mitchell again, and now he's in P4 again. So bad start from Quint, but he's still there, and yeah, he can get back into I think P3 or P2. Depends how smart he is with his tires.
Sorry, behind I know so Jack Nicholls passed Scouron at the start of that, but then going into the tighter left-hander there, I think that Nicholls just locked up a little bit, and there was a little bit of contact between them, but they both ended up pointing the right way still. So carry on, and they shouldn't have too much damage from that. But it does mean we've got obviously Denihan and Platt the front two, and then you've got the two Alpha Deltas and the two Kings Racing all on a line.
Yeah, and all is going
close.
All is going according to plan.
No, it isn't for Mike Quinn. He's lost his rear wing at the final chicane, and he's out of the race.
Oh, the last corner has got his first.
Run wide. I have looked. It wasn't going side by side with anyone. Yeah, he just got a boatload of understeer there out of the final chicane. And so unfortunate, just clipped his rear wheel on the wall, and that is unfortunately his race over there.
Oh, what a shame. So that's one of the Alpha Delta cars is not scoring, but look at the other Alpha Delta car. Joseph Hurlock is trying to get past Dylan Platt, but cannot do it even with DRS. Now it's both the Kings Racing cars are just, I would say, relaxing a bit in P4 and P5, just putting in decent lap times and not doing strange things with the tires, and just making sure they are there at the end. Now we've got Damon's Coron, actually he's pushing quite hard to pass Jack Nicholls, so let's keep an eye on that later. Also our rookie Lawrence is now in P7, with Luke Mitchell impressive in P8.
Yeah, I think, so you mentioned the Kings wanting to relax, but yeah, obviously they can't do that at the moment with Damon so close behind. And I think as well, it must have been Scott Mitchell. I think he took a bit of a hit from Quint's spinning car there at the final chicane. So I can't see any kind of proper bad damage on him, but he might have a little bit of suspension damage that will be just affecting him. So I don't think he will be able to relax quite as much as he would have liked. But for the moment, they are still P4 and 5, which is good for them, especially in the team standings. Obviously, with at the moment Jake Denihan the only TCS off car in the points, so this could be good for Kings Racing for the moment. And behind we've got Lawrence actually having a look up the inside of Damon Scarron there into the hairpin. He made quite a good dive there, and he's managed to cover Damien off on the exit. Heading into the fast chicane, I don't think Damien will be able to do anything here. It's, well, as shown really on lap 1, it's not a place where you can easily go side by side. So that's Lawrence Doherty up into P6.
Yeah, we still got Jake Denhan leading, and then we've got Dylan Platt still in P2, but Joseph Hurlock with his DRS, he's pushing really hard. He wants to get that P2, but can he do it? He is not close enough for now, but yeah, his exits look quite good, so maybe a chance will be there quite soon.
Yeah, He seems to have a lot of speed down the straight, going up into that hairpin of, I believe it will be turn 5 it is. But he just seems to always be forced onto the outside. Good defender from Dylan Platt to put him there. But it means that Herlock can't really do much to make the move, because it's very difficult to go around the outside there. It's such a tight corner. Are we going to see the same thing happen again here? It looks like it. Joseph Herlock with the DRS does get the overspeed on Dylan. But yeah, he's forced to the outside once again and has to back out of that one. So Herlock might start getting.
Oh, we've got Damien Scoron off. Damien Scoron got off. I think he misbraked himself, and he loses a lot of positions. Oh, that was P6, and now it's P16. So he lost 10 positions, and he's out of the points. And this is incredibly unlucky for him. I saw him looking up, but I'm not sure why he did that.
I've just watched it back. He, yeah, I think he must have just misjudged his braking, and unfortunately went onto the grass on the left under braking, which then has just sent him straight on. And unfortunately, it was really bumpy out there. There's a lot of different curves and track layouts and things like that going on. So yeah, lost a lot of time, which is unfortunate. But he's still relatively close to the points, so he will be looking to make his way back into them.
Yeah, and we've got still a lot of battles, but we've got a few drivers who are actually quite silent in this race, but are doing a good job. I want to mention Luke Mitchell now is in P7, and he's not too far away from the King's Racing car and the Valet car in front, so he's doing a good job. Michael Sumala in P8 and Maciej Sandak in P9. They're all doing a decent job. Yeah, let's see where they are in like 5 to 10 laps time. We've got another attack of Josef Herlock. Will he go to the inside now? Will he be fully aggressive? He's going to try, but he can't do it for now. So Dylan Platt is still ahead. And yeah, Jake Denhan is just checking out. It's like he's got a rocket ship because yeah, he's just yeah. Is he even trying? Well, yeah, no, he is, but yeah, he's just yeah, I think in a league of his own at this track. So let's see how he will handle the tires, and if he will be pushing the whole race, or that he will maybe go a bit slower on lap time later in the race.
Yeah, and I noticed on that lap at turn 5 we had Jack Nicholls pass his teammate Scott Mitchell at the hairpin, and he seems to be able to pull away at the moment, so we could well see him join up that battle for the final podium position. Obviously not too much of a gap between them at the moment, but he'll want to be doing it quickly to get on the back of it and get involved. But yeah, we've seen it quite a few times this season, quite often from Denhan's teammate, Darius Andre, but once you get into the lead, and if the cars behind are fighting, then yeah, you can really pull out quite a big gap and make yourself a little bit unstoppable, which seems like Jake Denhan is doing that at the moment. As I think there may have been a crash behind there.
Yes,
Bradley Leonard's in the wall at the final corner, just like Mike Quinn.
Yeah,
Bradley,
yeah. Bradley quinned it, and I saw Dan Hajek. He also nearly quinned it. We're just going to call that that they quinned it. Yeah, that's a very difficult.
Sure, Mike would be very happy for you to.
Yeah, well, I think he doesn't mind. But yeah, this shows that it's very difficult corner. If you get it wrong, then yeah, the curb just throws you off, and you will not have grip. Of course, in mid-air, and then when you land, then you need to get the grip back, and if it's not there, then yeah, it will be the end of your front wing, or even worse.
Exactly, yeah. A very tricky corner, and unfortunately now it's taken 2 people.
Yes,
into the race.
But look at Lawrence in P5 now, because he overtook Scott Mitchell, and Scott Mitchell was in P4 a few laps ago. I believe he made a mistake, because he's now 2 positions down on what he was before.
Well, I think it might just be, like I said, he did take that hit from Mike Quinn, and it looks like he lost a little bit of pace from that. Must have a little bit of damage on his car, because he did just let his teammate, obviously Nicholls, through. Didn't want to fight that too much, but then Lawrence had a bit of an easier overtake around the outside at the hairpin. So yeah, I think Scott Mitchell unfortunately is carrying a bit of damage, but meanwhile Doherty is going to have to look up the inside of his teammate.
No, not his teammate.
Mitchell's teammate. is what
Yes.
I meant. But, oh no, there's a crash on the exit as well.
Oh,
All of them
safe.
around. The two Kings and Doherty all round at
Oh,
the hairpin.
his teammate hit him.
Oh,
Oh no, guys,
no.
guys. And now Gijs has got his rear ring broken, and he needs to go to the pits. Oh, drama! And now Damien's corner. Yeah, he was in P6, then in P16. Now is back in P12. Yeah, now everybody knows now there is a chance. Kevin Morval was out of the points, and now he sees more and more points getting his way. He's now in P13. This is Scott Mitchell in P14, and again Scott Mitchell with unlucky race because he sometimes is really fast, but sometimes he is so unlucky to be in a place where everything goes wrong, and when it's not his fault.
Exactly, yeah, he was just sitting behind them as them two got involved in their own incident, and unfortunately he got caught up in it too, which is unfortunate to see. But
yeah. Oh, look at Joseph Hurlock now in P3. Now he's close enough for an overtake, I think. No, he doesn't even get the slipstream of Dylan Platt. That's interesting, because I would have thought he would be close enough. He's not even opening his DRS. That's interesting. Is he saving his tires for attack later? Is he like, oh, it's good for now. I will go for the overtake maybe in a few laps when I know I can make it on tires.
Could well be. I don't know how close on tyres they are. I mean, there's a lot of fast corners here, so the tyres could take a bit of a beating.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you wanted to save them a little bit.
And in all of the drama we had last lap, sorry, we've got Luke Mitchell in P4. He drove around all the incidents which were around him. He saw everybody crash.
Oh, Dylan Platt's off, sorry to cut you off. Dylan Platt is off at the hairpin at the end of the lap there. Let's have a look. It must just be that he just lost his rear coming out of that fast chicane and couldn't catch it and went for a little 360 there into the gravel trap. He's come out still just about in P3, but he's got Luke Mitchell right on his tail. Jack Nicholls not far behind. He did well to not lose so much time after that whole incident a couple of laps ago. And behind him as well, actually, Michael Tumala doing really well in P6, not far off this train as well. Carrying the rest of the grid with him.
What I'm actually noticing is that a lot of drivers are actually struggling. You see a lot of drivers making some sort of mistakes, and at least they're not very consistent at the moment. Oh yeah, only a few are really consistent, but others are in incidents maybe a bit unlucky. But yeah, I see a lot of people also with a lot of problems going into some of the corners. So I think the track temperature in combination with the grip the tire gives, maybe that's an issue, and I see quite a lot of drivers having problems with that. And actually, the more experienced drivers, like Michael Tumala, they are doing now quite well.
Yeah, exactly. I think with what Dylan did there, it can happen because obviously that you've got the fast chicane there, a little bit off camber as well on the exit. So yeah, you can lose the rear a little bit, and it's straight into a heavy braking zone. So yeah, I think could be set up, could be just pushing a little bit too hard maybe, and obviously a lot of pressure behind him.
Yeah, well, we just have Stefan Schreider going off in the same corner where Dylan Platt went off, but he also rejoined the race. Let's see which battle we now see. On track. Yeah, Tom van der Voort is quite close to Michael Tumala. He will now go for it around the outside. Will he brake later? He will try to brake a bit later, but he can't pass for now. So he just keeps following.
Yeah, and behind as well, you just had Kozlowski there, make the move on Matthew Sandak up into P8. So good round so far for both underdogs and also for both downforce cars. Like I said, Matthew Sandak, he had a great start to the season. Dropped off a little bit, but now he's back there up in P9, doing well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tom van der Voort almost had a look up into the left-hander there on Tumala, but not quite.
Yeah, he's trying to be really close, but in some of the fast corners, you cannot just get close. It will be difficult. yeah, you can just not turn in and you'll easily overheat your tires. But in all of this, we now got, I believe, 13 laps completed, and Jake Denhan is just, yeah, leading, and not only leading, he's doing that with a lead of, let me look, 5.3 seconds on Joseph Hurlock, and then P3, Dylan Platt, already is on 12 seconds. Of course, Dylan made a mistake, but yeah, that's already 12 seconds. And let's see if we got anybody who's now close for an overtake. I believe nothing at the moment.
So Tom van der Voort there, a lot further back than last lap, but in front of him, Mikko Tumala had a lock up there into the hairpin, had a bit of a slide, but he stayed in front for now, but that's allowed Tom van der Voort right up onto the back of him. So he's going to have to back out into that chicane, can't make a move there. And really, he's going to have to stay behind a little bit up until that DRS straight again, potentially. Unless Tumala makes another little mistake, he's wiggling around a bit, maybe pushing quite hard to try and stay ahead here. But Tom van der Voort really seems to have the pace here and really seems to want to take this place. As Tumala does have another small mistake there, so yeah, maybe his tyre's going actually, with a few lockups there. That will make it even worse for him if they are already going. And another one, just not feeling comfortable potentially at the moment. But Tom van der Voort can't find a way through. It's going to allow Guzowski right behind him, and Magnus Sandek as well closing in. So I think Tom van der Voort is really going to want to go for the move here if he wants to then push up towards the top 5, because he's losing a lot of time here behind Michael Tumala, but he seems a little bit too far back for now. Didn't necessarily have too much of a straight line advantage compared to Tumala before. He's going to have to go around the outside. Tumala just about holds it. Oh, and then he's got Guzowski on his inside, but they'll make it through.
Oh, and we've got Ben Willis who's passing Damien Scoron for P11. So that's a big battle between P11 and P12. Damien Scoron was looking for overtake. Let's try it again for the inside, but he can't pass for now. Ben Willis stays ahead. Now we've got in P10 we've got Tommy Koivunen. If he can finish top 10, it will be his best result of this season. So let's hope for Tommy he can finish this P10. Would be I think very good for him, and let's hope yeah, he can do it with a few laps to go.
Yeah, meanwhile Tom van der Voort is very close. He's going to have a look, potentially had a look on the inside of the chicane there, or not chicane, the penultimate corner. But he is going to have a look up in the chicane. That seemed a little bit like a bit of an off-track attempt there, but he stayed behind, so he didn't really lose anything or gain anything there. So he's going to have to try it once again. Not quite getting the exit there through the corner. Okay, the dirty air will be really strong there, and really making him struggle. But that's has allowed Kozowski even a little closer. Not quite. Tom van der Voort going to have to go around the outside once again at the hairpin, and once again cannot do it. If he wants to make this move, it looks like he's going to have to be quite aggressive with it. And he's going to go for that right now around the outside at the chicane. No, he backs out of that quite smartly. And once again, he might have to sit behind for another lap. No, Tumala makes a mistake there, runs a little bit wide on the entry. But Tom van der Voort cannot make his way through.
Oh, this is an amazing battle. It's like they're driving some rental carts over a karting circuit. But yeah, it's amazing. Look at Tom van der Voort is looking at and working at his exit, and then it doesn't work for him. He's trying something different. Mikhail Tumala is trying to defend. This is an amazing battle. And also we've got an amazing battle for P3, because Dylan Platt is really struggling from time to time. I think the lockup he had before did hurt him quite a lot on his tires. So let's see if he can stay in P3 for the rest of the race.
Yep, and as predicted, this battle has now become a four-way battle. Macho Sandak seems to have, well, he's jumped onto the back of the train, and he now also seems to be the guy with the most momentum here. Potentially going to have a look at the inside of Kozowski, heading into the hairpin though. It's going to have to go around the outside.
But I believe Sandak and Kozowski are related, so I think they will not make life too difficult for each other. At least not at the first race. I think they both know this is a decent position, and with reverse grid they can still do well. So they keep their eyes open for a better position. If they can't, then yeah, they will not go for it. But look at Kozowski now goes to P7 because Tom Ford made a mistake on exit. And can Sandak pass? No, he can't. So Tom Ford wanted to gain a position. Now he lost a position. It's also the thing about not making those mistakes. Well, I believe we're now on the last lap. And what can Luke Mitchell do? Can he steal the podium away from Dylan Platt? Dylan Platt still has that P3 for Thunderdog. Can he do it? Luke Mitchell is close, but also Jack Nicholls is close. What about the fight behind? Oh, Kozowski looks racy. It's like he's much better on the tires than Tumala. Can he go for P6? Would be wild if he can do it. But look at Luke Mitchell. Look at Luke Mitchell. He's going around the outside. Can he brake later? He will try. No, he will not try. He tries to be a bit earlier and then go for the exit here. But he can't pass. And look at Tumala and Kozowski. Oh, they turn into each other. And Tumala is still ahead. What a fight. And look at Tom Ford. He's still there. And then Maciej Sandak is there. And Tommy Kofun is also joining the group. It's now a 5-way group. Luke Mitchell is trying everything in P4 to getting P3, but now makes a mistake. And now Jack Nicholls wants to overtake Luke Mitchell, but I think it will not work there. And now actually we need to go back to our race leader, because Jake Denhan will finish the race in P1. Another win for Jake Denhan. He won the second race 2 weeks ago, and he now wins at France. It's 25 points for Jake Denhan. I'm actually not sure if he's got the fastest lap. Joseph Hurlock in P2 for Alpha Delta, and Dylan Platt gets P3. Very good for him. And Luke Mitchell gets P4. Jack Nicholls in P5. Mikel Tumala, really well done. Good job for him in P6. Tom Ford in P7. So he got Mateusz Kozowski in the end, who's still in P8. And that's something what Kozowski needed, because his season wasn't that good in recent rounds. So P8 is very good. Maciej Sandak in P9. Tommy Koivunen with his best result of the season, with Damon Skoron still finishing in P11 after being in P16 for a while. Ben Willis in P12 scores a good points. Scott Mitchell is in P13. Not something he would have hoped for. He would have hoped much better, but maybe with reverse grid he can do something if he gets it. Kevin Voice had one earlier outing for the academy team, then finished P15. He now finished in P14, and the last point scoring position is for the other Kevin. It's Kevin Morville from Team Sim Racing Guys, and Dan Hayek is just missing out on that last point scoring position. Anything to add, Josh?
No, I mean that was a fantastic battle all throughout the grid there. Obviously for the final spot on the podium, and also for P6, Tumala doing a fantastic job to defend from all those cars behind. So yeah, just a really exciting race there. A lot to keep up with. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of what happened. There was also a lot of battling going on for the final, for the tail end of the points. So yeah, a lot going on there. And obviously that was only race 1. Normally race 2 is the one that's the crazy race. So can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Obviously it will be a reverse grid race, and pole will be a random number between P11 and P15.
P10 and P15.
P10 and P15, sorry, yeah. So from Koivunen to Morville, anyone in between there, including them, could get pole position for race 2. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But in the meantime, we'll be having another small warm-up session. So we'll just be heading for a quick break, and then we'll be back for race 2. Hello and welcome back for race 2 here at the circuit Magny-Cours in France. After a very exciting race 1 there that had Jake Dennehan win, a little bit unmatched really after the start, but still an exciting race further down the field as well. And we're here for race 2. The reverse grid number was P15, which meant that Kevin Morville has taken pole position for Sim Racing Guys. And now we'll run through what that means for the rest of the grid. It means we've got Kevin Boyce in P2, Scott Mitchell in P3, this could be really good for him today, and Ben Willis in P4. And then we've got Damon Scourin in P5, could also be a good race for him. Tommy Coyvin in P6, Patrick Sandak P7, and Terence Gazowski in P8. And Tom van der Voort in P9, Michael Tamala P10, Jack Nichols P11, and Luke Mitchell P12. Then Dylan Platt in P13, Joseph Phil P14, and then the two TCS off cars, Dennehan and Hyatt P15 and 16. And then we've got Owen Philhausick in P17, Stefan Schreider P18, Jessica Plete in P19, and Heis Sonneveld in P20. And Lauren Doherty P21, Patricia Magnussen P22, Caitlin Penny P23, Doan Holsall P24, who is going to be starting from the pit lane. We've then got Bradley Leonards P25, Mike Quint P26, Renko Dzea P27, and it says Bruno Sousa Ferreira there in P28. I believe unfortunately he might have disconnected again, because it's actually Guillaume Mas who's in P28, who couldn't make it for qualifying or race 1, but he has made it here for race 2. So it's going to be tricky for him, but I'm sure his fight is just to get some points here. So I mean a very shaken up grid obviously, but the reverse grid itself being P15, obviously the most we can do. The most difficult for the leaders of race 1 to make their way through, especially at a track like this. But also obviously we've got Mike Quint down there. He had the pace to do really well, but unfortunately he had that incident within the first 2 laps of race 1. Guillermo Mas as well, he's a very quick driver all the way at the back. So yeah, we should be in for another very interesting
very
race
good
here.
race, Josh. Let's see who will be doing well. Well, we've got Don Hassel and Don Hassel is starting from the pits. You see lights go on, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are go. Who's got the best start? It's a very good start for Scott Mitchell, but he already touched Kevin Boyce there. Yeah, of course Scott Mitchell is very quick, but he needs to do a clean overtake. Oh, he pushes Kevin Boyce a bit wide, but yeah, I think there was a bit of room. Scott Mitchell knows that after a difficult race 1, now he can of course score a lot of points, but Kevin Boyce will attack. Well, it's Kevin Morville still in the lead. I believe his nationality is French, and now he's leading the French Grand Prix, at least at the start. So it's Kevin Morville now who leads, then it's Scott Mitchell, then it's Kevin Boyce, it's Damien Scourin already in P4, and then Ben Willis now in P5. Any incidents?
No, I think it's been pretty clean. Unfortunately, Don Holsall, I thought he was going to be starting from the pits, but he has stayed in the pits. So unfortunately, he's not made the start of the race. But further back, it's been a lot of, well, a little bit messy, I think was to be expected. But no, everyone seems to have gone through relatively cleanly. And yeah, there was a bit of bumping between Scourin and Willis at the start. Oh, it's not clean there though. Unfortunately, that's Luke Mitchell with no rear wing. Out the hairpin. I didn't see what happened. Is that Dennehan as well? He's still got all his wings, but he's down there in P24. So I'll have to have a look back and see exactly what happened there. There's a lot of stuff going on as well at the final few corners. But I don't think anyone's hit the final wall corner yet. No. But yeah, Luke Mitchell, he's having to come into the pits, and that will unfortunately be his race pretty much over. Be very difficult to get anything from the race now.
Oh, but look at Scott Mitchell for the lead on Kevin Morville. Can he do it around the outside? And what will Kevin Morville do? Yeah, he breaks as late as he can, and Kevin Morville stays in the lead for now with his sim racing guy's car. This is one of the worst teams in terms of the standings, but now they are, in a golden position with Kevin Morville. What can they do? And what can Scott Mitchell do? He, of course, wants to pass as soon as possible.
That's Tom van der Voort. Sorry, yeah. I was just about to watch that back. There's been a big incident at the back of the pack there, and Tom van der Voort got sent flipping, getting a lot of damage there. So we've got a few cars out now. We also had Damon Scaron get his way back up onto the podium ahead of Kevin Boyce on that lap. And like I say, Scott Mitchell going for the lead of the race. But you can take it a little bit patiently. Obviously, there's been a lot of incidents behind, so...
and a mistake from Kevin Boyce. Was in P4, now will be in P5. Oh, and they pushed each other. Oh, and they nearly hit each other into the wall.
Jack Nichols. He's managed to get the move on both of them, potentially, all the way around the outside.
Oh, he can do it! Jack Nichols with the move of this century gets 2 drivers there, and an amazing risky move, but he moved it before.
Scott Mitchell as well, his teammate, has taken the lead at the moment. They've got a drag race down into the hairpin, but Scott Mitchell is ahead, and also has a DRS, so he played that one well, but Kevin Morville breaks really late at the hairpin. But no, Scott Mitchell does keep that position, so I'm sure he'll be looking to just run away now, because he's got Damon Scarroll in P3.
Look at the field of cars after Jack Nichols, behind Jack Nichols. Oh, we've got Kevin Boyce, Tommy Koivunen, Ben Willis, Mateusz Guzowski, Dylan Platt, Maciej Sandak, and Mikael Tumala all fighting for, I think, P4. It's an amazing battle. It's like what I said before, it's like rental cars. And
this means as well, just noticed, got Jessica Pelletier in P12. So she's only done one round. Oh no, I've cursed it. No, just what? Not about. She just went through the chicane there and lost the rear end a little bit on the exit, but just about managed to keep it all together, keep it in P12. But I was just going to say, she's only done one round this season, and I'm sure she'll agree it wasn't a very good one in Bahrain. So going for her first points of the season, side by side with Lawrence Doherty there in the final corner. But in front, there's been a lot of change around there. We had Guzowski and Sandak side by side down the straight. Oh, Guzowski's made an error there at turn 3, and he's round into the wall.
Oh, and he's gone. It's end for Guzowski.
Over.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think he just got a little bit optimistic on the throttle, really, while also trying to close in a little bit on Sandak. And unfortunately, he just lost it there.
Oh, we've got a spinner. Yes, Sandak is spun. It now is actually going really wild. It's race 2. So very interesting what all is happening. But we still got Scott Mitchell now leading, and Damian Corner is actually pushing really hard in P2. It's now Kevin Morville in P3, with Jack Nichols in P4.
I've just noticed as well, actually, Jake Denham obviously dropped all the way down to P24. He's now up to P12, just a few laps later. And he's got his teammate there, Dan Hayek.
We've got Dylan Platt off again in the same corner as race 1. What happened there then? He had contact with Willis, I hear.
Oh, and, he was looking up the inside of the hairpin, and they don't know if he just misjudged a little bit or what, but they came together unfortunately under braking. That sent him into
and Jake Denham. Jake Denham misses the last corner as well. Is there a big pile up somewhere?
No, there was a lot of cars there getting very fast. Oh, it was that was Denham and Pelletier trying to go side by side at the final chicane, and that's what really started all the contact there. But no, I think everyone made it through relatively clean, or at least with no damage. But you can see this big snake of cars, and they're all wanting to make up their positions. They're going 3 wide into the hairpin there. You got that Hayek on the outside, with Dylan in the middle and Pelletier on the inside. Will Pelletier be able to make this move up the inside out the chicane? Does Hayek has to go off though, or cut the chicane, and Pelletier went off on the exit. But Pelletier has made up that position. I've just noticed as well, actually, Guillaume Mass all the way from the back of the grid. He's in P11 at the moment, so a great start for him, picking his way through all the mess. So great stuff there for him. and for Team Frelik in general at the moment. So you've still got Damon Scouron within the DRS of Scott Mitchell, and pushing with the fastest lap to try and close up for the lead. Yeah, further down this entire pack here is getting very feisty. Oh, a bit of contact there, unfortunately, with Caitlin Penny. And I believe that was Owen Krilhauskip. I think one of them was spinning and the one just couldn't avoid. So that's unfortunate to see. But I think they both kept their wings there.
And Luke Mitchell crashed. He spun, and I believe it's the end of his race now. I can confirm it in a few seconds. And waiting for him. He's still stationary at the track.
I imagine he's probably stationary because he is a little bit annoyed and might not be quite at his keyboard at the moment to press escape.
Press escape.
Because he's had an unfortunate race 2 here. But yeah, that is his race over.
Yeah, and
Joseph Herlock there with a great move around the outside of Kai Sonneveld. He kind of just caught them out while Sonneveld was looking for a move on Pelletier. Go side by side here into the fast chicane. Herlock on the inside. Oh, they make a bit of contact. They're both sliding off.
Look at Quint.
Somehow keep it through. And yep, Quint. That's going to allow him potentially around the outside. Not quite. He's got high up there as well. And Matthew Stanek as well at the back of the train. We're be looking to make up any positions.
Oh, and a crash from Denan. No, he got touched by Kevin Voice, and Kevin Voice now that's spun in the last corner. He loses 2, 3, 4 positions, but Kevin Voice could continue without big damage.
Sorry, we also had another mess at the final few corners there. The 2 Alpha Deltas, I think, potentially made contact. You had high up there as well, almost getting caught out. But somehow, at least the majority of them still have all their wings, and they're still going and still in this massive train.
But look at P3, Kevin Marvel giving his all to get that final podium position, but Jack Nichols just seems to be a lot faster. I think Kevin is driving really smart, trying to get the best result, but can he hold on for 10 more laps to get that podium position? I'm not so sure, but he is trying and giving his all. He also needs to drive very smart, because if Jack Nichols is faster, just don't lose too much time here, Kevin, because this is really big for the team's championship as well. But we've got a battle for the lead. It's Damien Scoron and Scott Mitchell. Oh, Damien is close. Will we see a win from for Team Frelik or for Kings Racing? Oh, they're really close now. Well, we've got, I believe, another yellow flag.
Yeah, it's Dan Hayek. I'm not sure what's happened, but he was just going slowly there. But yeah, there's been some other incident of some sort. It's a little bit difficult to keep up here. I think he went for a little spin actually in the chicane.
And now I believe we will have an overtake from Jack Nichols on Kevin Marvel. The DRS is open. Can he brake later or will he brake earlier? That's the thing. He's trying to go around the outside, then do the switchback. Oh, textbook switchback, but he didn't do it for now. Kevin Marvel is still there and his nose is still ahead. Can he stay ahead or will it be Jack Nichols? Oh, he gives him the place. He doesn't want to risk it too much, and Kevin Marvel now is in P4 with Jack Nichols in P3. I think for Kevin this is a sensible move.
Yeah, that's Sonneville there. I just caught the end of that. It just went spinning out of the hairpin. I think in a battle with just Completier. But yeah, I think for Kevin Marvel there, that's quite smart. Like you mentioned, obviously they are one of the lower teams on points. So any top 5 here at the moment, it's looking like is very big for them. So not worth fighting too much and risking losing it all. Because Jack Nichols clearly had the pace there. So yeah, quite smart to just let him through.
Yeah.
But it does mean at the moment we've got double Kings podium with Team Frelik in the middle. And yeah, those two will be fighting hard to see which one of them gets the win there, Mitchell or Scouron.
And look who's in P5, Tommy Koivunen. Of course, he had his best finish of the season in race 1, where he finished P10. He's now on P5. Didn't see him making any error this race. And, he's actually very close to Marvel. Can he catch Marvel and actually go even better and go to P4? Koivunen is I think a bit on the move, and then Ben Willis now in P6. He's also doing a very decent race so far. P6 will mean 10 points, and it will be a dream for Ben Willis, I think, this season.
Yeah, he's had a few races. You'll see in general, he's not necessarily had the pace, but he's had a few races like this where he's looked pretty good. And yeah, doing it again here. I think we've had Timala there just make a small mistake. So Doherty and Dennehan have got through.
Yeah, I think there was a big dive bomb from the valet car, and that was actually more like forcing another driver off track. So I want to not judge it too much, but I'm not sure how much Mikael Tomala left the door open, but that was a huge send. Let's say that.
All right, well, that's allowed both of them through, fortunately for Timala, but still in P9. Got quite a big gap back to P10, Guillaume and Mass. Obviously, they were all caught in just all the mess that's been happening throughout the race. But meanwhile, at the front, Damon Scouron, he's looking up the inside of Scott Mitchell there to take the lead away at the hairpin. Scott Mitchell's going to try the switchback, but Aaron covered it off. Went for a very tight exit there to not allow Scott Mitchell through. And that means Damon Scouron has now taken the lead of the race. So it's a Kings race in 2-3. And there's been a lot of movement further down, potentially some incidents. Exactly, it's Kevin Voice around on the straight. Oh, don't rejoin there. Just about. Dan Hyatt managed to avoid him, but that was almost a very bad crash there. Kevin Voice in the middle of the track.
And let's go to the battle with Jake Dennehan and who's it? Lawrence, because that was very hard wheel-to-wheel battling. You've got a lot of battles at the moment. You've got a battle for the lead and a battle for P4. So we hope to keep you updated as much as we can.
Yeah, and speaking of another battle, we have had Tommy Koivunen close in on Kevin Morville. Very close behind. They've not properly battled yet, but I feel like at least within the next couple of laps, Koivunen will be close enough to have a look, potentially. He made a small mistake there at the final chicane to get not quite as good an exit. So it might not be this lap, but he definitely seems to have the pace here over Kevin Morville. So for both of them, obviously the points themselves will be good either way, but I'm sure for both of them, after the season they've had, will be wanting to get as high a position as they can. So this could turn into a tasty battle. Speaking of that, behind the tasty battle, Dennehan going for a very aggressive move there along Doherty. Keeps it around the outside on the exit of the hairpin. Are they going to go side by side into the chicane? Be very tricky. Doherty seems to have the edge at the moment, and they touch, and they're both through the middle of the chicane. Doherty is around. Dennehan has carried on.
And he lost his front wing. Lawrence lost his front wing, and he's out of the race for sure. There's no points for Lawrence in this race. Oh, yeah.
See, Tumala almost had a look on Dennehan because of that, but he's had to back out of that, so Dennehan stays in P7. But yeah, I mean, that seemed to be just quite aggressive from both drivers there, and ended up kind of how you would expect, really. That's a chicane where if neither of you back out, that is always going to happen, because there's just not room for two cars to go flat out side by side there.
And Dennehan was
Doherty ended up worse off.
Yeah, was still there, and they touched, and unfortunate. But yeah, with now 12 laps completed, we now of course have the you can see the top 15 on the left of your screen. It's now Bradley Leonards, who's now in P14. He crashed out race 1 quite early, and now he's in a point scoring position. Let's hope he can keep that for now. Well, we've got a big battle for P15, Caitlin Penny and Dan Hajek for that final position, and Caitlin really wants this final point. So let's see if she can get it, or that it will be stolen away by the TCS of driver there.
Yeah, they do also have a valley there. I can't tell whether the valley is lapping them or it's a lap down to them. It is apparently a lapped car, but it's getting involved here and sort of helped Hayek there really to make the move. But Caitlin Penny is going to stay ahead. I see Sonneveld as a lapped car. I'm sure he feels like he's quicker and wants to get through, but he can't really get involved in their battle here because that isn't very sportsmanlike. But if he's got the pace, I guess he's going to try. But being a lap down, points really are off the cards for him anyway, no matter if he gets through or not. But meanwhile, further at the front, we've got Guillaume Mas there and Mike Quint side by side at the final few corners. They don't go for it at the final chicane. Mike Quint will get very close to the wall on the exit again there, but this time managed to keep it out of it. Quint's had a little bit of a quiet race, I think, because of all the mess that's been happening around him. Done quite well just to avoid most of it and hitting P10. Still some solid points.
Oh, we've got a crasher in
Oh,
P15.
no.
Oh, Caitlin Petty lost her front wing. No, they went side by side into the final corner, and Caitlin Petty touched Dan Hayek, and now Dan Hayek. Oh, yeah, hit him. Hit her in the in the rear of her car, and yeah, she lost control. Oh, and they still crashed. Oh, what's this? They still crashed.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I was more looking through the replay. I don't know what. Obviously, Caitlin Penny's had no front wing, and Dan Hayek could have been able to just pull away with his front wing, but not too sure what's happened there then. But at the front, or close to the front, Tommy Koivunen, he has been looking closer and closer over that. He's going to make a move into the penultimate corner, up the inside of Kevin Morville to take P4. It was just about on the edge of losing control there from the Koivunen. With a nice slide, but did make the move up into P4. And Kevin Morville, I think, again, realising that it's not worth risking taking them both out over this, because this is good points as it is. So just settling for P5 there. Meanwhile, further at the front for the lead, actually, Scaron and Mitchell still going at it. Mitchell has stayed right on the tail of Scaron the whole time. I think he's been able to have a look for a few moves up into the hairpin there, but not quite been able to make any of them stick. So with only a few laps left to go, he's going to have to get on with it really if he wants to take this win. But at the moment it is a double podium for Kings Racing, so I'm sure they'll be happy with that as it is. Meanwhile, you've got there Jake Denhan making a move on Ben Willis, and Denhan really, obviously, I mean, he started in P15 but was down in P24 by the end of the first couple of laps, so he has done a great job to make his way back up into P6. Been a few incidents along the way, but nonetheless his pace has been really good. So I think you worked out, didn't you, that after race 1 he was only 2 points behind his teammate in the championship, Darius Andre. So with this result, obviously he would go ahead of him, which will then set us up for a pretty good battle, you have to say, for the second half of the season. But I'm sure at the moment Denhan is just wanting all the points he can get, as actually he also now makes a move on Kevin Morville. So he is still picking his way through the field, even with how high up he is at the moment. So can he potentially, I mean, he's got Koivunen not too far in front, and there's a big gap to Nichols. So a podium maybe off the cards here, but he's at least P5 at the moment. And like I say, with Koivunen just a second in front.
Yeah, Koivunen of course now wants to check out because he wants to have that P4, but Jake Denhan is hunting, and he knows that if he can get P4, it's another 2 points he can add, because if you are P5 you get 11 points, and if you are P4, finish P4, you get 13 points. So one position here is worth 2 points now. Let's see, do we got some good battles still? Yeah, Guillaume Mas is really close to Dylan Platt. Dylan Platt now on P11, fought his way back after his incident with Ben Willis. Have you got Jessica Pelletier now in P13? You see, can score some points for Delta Racing. Some points the team really needs. So let's hope she can bring it home. Bradley Leenarts is close to Jessica Pelletier. Can he steal P13 away from Jessica? We shall see. And Owen Vilhousvik now is in the final points position with Team Small Power.
Yeah, so at the front, Mitchell not close enough to probably go for a move. Actually further behind now, Ben Willis and Kevin Morville fighting over that P6, and Ben Willis has made the position stick. So Morville, I suppose he might have expected this really, but he has just slipped down the order a little bit throughout the race. But I mean, P7 are still very good points for him, and Ben Willis as well. I mean, he'll be very happy with P6. Yeah, just Morville now. Maybe his tires are going off a little bit, but he seems to have slid back a little bit more in the last few laps. And in front, you've got Dennehan now, right on the back of Tommy Koivunen. So will he be able to go for an aggressive move potentially to this final few corners? He's gone for it before, but no, he keeps out of it this time. So I guess he'll be waiting for the DRS up into turn 5. As we head onto the final lap, Scott Mitchell also will be looking for this DRS here into turn 5. This could potentially be his final opportunity if he wants this win.
But he's too far away, I think.
DRS.
I think he's too far away.
Yeah, it'll have to be quite a big dive. He goes for it around the outside. Very late on the brakes, a very good move, but Scouron just
he
keeps it
doesn't
there.
get the exit there. Oh, what a move! What a move! And look at Jake Dennehan on Tommy Koivunen. Can he do it? Goes to the inside. Does it? Overshoots the corner. But Tommy Koivunen doesn't get the run, so Jake Dennehan now is in P4. The lead is still for Damien Scouron. Scott Mitchell now in P2. I think this will be your finishing order with Jack Nichols in P3. Jake Dennehan, did a very nice move.
Oh, is that Ben Willis? Sorry, stopped there at the side of the track. It is. It doesn't look like there's been damage, so I'm not sure what's happened there. It could be fuel, it could be engine.
No, it is not fuel because I see this car is still working and I see a lot of pedal movement. So not sure what it is, but we're now going for the finish. It's Team Frelik who wins. It's Damien Scouron who wins the race.
Sorry, Scott Mitchell was still pushing very hard there, almost sending himself into the wall at the final corner. But
and he finished P2.
Keep it to P2.
And Jack Nichols in P3, so a double podium for Kings Racing. Well done, Jake Dennehan. Still P4. Excellent drive. Also for Tommy Koivunen.
Mike Quint spinning over the line there. Luckily he did make it over the line. But that was P8 for him.
So, what a race, and now we're waiting for the rest. Well...
Yeah, you saw just completed there, first points of the season, so good stuff there in P12. We've got Bradley Lienars taking a push here from High Sonneveld, which is very, very illegal, not meant to do that. Could be dangerous for the other people still on the track if the car loses control. Dan Hayek is now right behind them. Is he going to join in on the pushing? He is. He's not going to try and take the position. I'm not too sure what they're all trying here. I don't know if Bradley's maybe run out of fuel, but Dan Hayek does now join in on the pushing. Yeah, very naughty stuff going on here. Ben Willis could potentially pass all of them. No, he backs off and lets them have it. So he unfortunately, weird to see what happened with Ben Willis. I'm not too sure because he did get it going again. But he comes around to finish P16, and then Caitlin Penny in P17 there. She was looking very good for some more points, but unfortunately just got involved in an incident. And then High Sonneveld ended up a lap down in P18. And then obviously a lot of DNFers there. Stefan Schreider, Lawrence Doherty, Kevin Voice, Maciek Sandak, Luke Mitchell, Tez Gazowski, Tom Vandermoor, Ranko Tseo, Petreka Magnussen and Doan Horsell all retiring from the race. So quite a mad race there. Difficult to remember exactly what happened throughout the whole thing. There was just a lot of battling. It was a little bit messy at times. But we've ended up with a very interesting result for the championship. So Jake Dennehan now will take the championship lead. With that P4, but also a good round overall for Kings Racing for the team's championship. Team Frelik as well, quite a good round with Guillaume Mas coming in for race 2 there as well, and then obviously Jessica Paletti there with her first points, like I mentioned. So very interesting race there. I don't know, Menno, if you are able to sum any of it up at all.
Well, yeah. Well, Magny-Cours was a lot of drama. Well, that second race. The thing is, yeah, we also saw a lot of nice driving. Guillermo Mas going, yeah, from the back to P11. Mike Quint did really well. Jessica Pelletier did a decent job in P12. Owen Phil-Houswick did well. Yeah, what should I say? And of course, Jake Denham did a decent job. But he also had some drives who were unlucky. Caitlin Penny was unlucky in the last turn with Dan Hayek with the incident. So yeah, a lot of drama at Magny-Cours. Let's see what the final results will be after penalties. But yeah, we shall see.
Yeah, exactly. But we're here. We've got Stephen and Pat here for an interview with that
Hello.
podium in race 1 and race 2 steal some points.
Murder.
So, what was that you said? Sorry.
Murder.
Murder. Yes, it did look quite messy there in the mid pack. But would you say you're happy with the results? I mean, obviously, race 2 at least was very difficult there. It looked very difficult. But would you say you're still happy? It's still obviously good points in race 1 and still points in race 2.
Yeah, I mean, race 1 was. I was surprised, to be honest. Just the race just fell off the cliff, and then I spun. Just stupid, if I'm honest. Shouldn't have happened. And then race 2, like first couple of laps, made my way through the field quite nicely, and then got behind someone, and they decided to move on to braking. So, and then that just killed me, and the rest of my race and my tyres. Wasn't much else I could do.
Yeah, well, that is unfortunate, but yeah, I don't know. Still points. Menno, have you got anything to add? Sorry, I'm trying to look around and struggling here.
Not much actually. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
Magny-Cours, what a track. We should go back to this track far more.
Yes, because
I'd rather not anytime soon.
Did you not enjoy the track itself? From what I've heard, a lot of people have been enjoying it. At least.
The track's
flow of it,
great.
at
It's
least
just you
quite
can't
well.
overtake.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to again thank Tom Ely for the wonderful setup. Brilliant.
Of course, Tom Ely with all the shout-outs throughout the season.
Hey, there's something.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Dylan.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck for the future rounds. And I guess for the other interview, we're going to bring in Jessica Pelletier here. Jessica, you've joined, or you scored, sorry, your first points of the season. I believe it would be your first points in Formula Challenge as well, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I'm absolutely pumped. Home race as well, and to get points in what pretty much is, I think, my third or second race is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, very good job. It looked quite messy there in the midfield for you to get those points. Did you have fun at least with the battles? See, there's a bit more contact than maybe would have hoped for, but did you at least have a little bit of fun fighting your way through there to get those points?
Fun, yeah, and messy, definitely. Was certainly entertaining. Had a few close calls with the wall and spins, but managed to keep it all together to, I think, have one of the best races I've ever had in any series.
Well, that is good to hear. Also, you stepped in here at Deltec because you are the reserve driver. Are you expecting to do any more races throughout the season after the round today, or was this just to step in, I guess, for your home race as well?
I think I'm pretty much in for the entire season now. So hopefully I can keep this form up, and I think it's Spa next, so hopefully going to try my best and see what happens. Hopefully this isn't just a one-off appearance.
Well, good luck to you for the rest of the season then.
Thank you.
So then, that was Magny-Cours, the round there. A very interesting round with a lot of good, but also quite on the edge battling. And that was also round 10 of the season. Next time out in 2 weeks' time, we'll be heading to Spa, which will be the final round before the 4-week summer break. where we'll be returning in Monza. But in the meantime, we've also got Super Cup here in Magny-Cours on Thursday. And then next week will be the development series of Super League Lights and Super League also here. But until then, I've been Josh. We've had Menno Klont here alongside me and Szymon Frelik on cameras. And that's goodbye.
Bye.